Learn the secrets to running your week like a true CEO. I know how hard it is to truly focus on those top priorities and feel accomplished at the end of each and every week. Today, we reveal the game-changing strategies that successful CEOs and top performers use to supercharge their productivity. It's time to focus on what truly matters, ditch distractions, and master your schedule to achieve your goals. Get your notebook and pen ready because it's time to win at weekly planning. Let's do this. Are you a successful business owner who has a laundry list of ideas and struggles to achieve your big goals? Welcome to the CEO Amplify podcast. I'm your host, Donna Dubé, and my goal is to empower you to drive meaningful change and amplify your profits without the overwhelm. Join us as we provide actionable solutions for visionary CEOs like yourself to up-level your CEO skills, streamline operations, and master strategic prioritization. Learn how to scale your business to new heights, working smarter, not harder. If you're ready to reclaim your time and accelerate your growth, let's dive in and start this exciting adventure together. Remember, the only limit to your business growth is the one you set for yourself. Welcome back, CEOs. I hope you're having a great week. As I'm recording this, we're a couple of weeks into quarter 4 of 2023. And I want you to ask yourself, how is the quarter going? Recently, we've been talking about quarterly planning and monthly planning, and I'm wondering, first, have you had a chance to listen to those episodes? And second, have you put any of those practices into place? How is your quarter going? Are you focusing on the higher level CEO tasks? We all know that running our business like a true CEO involves strategy. It involves having a plan and managing our time and energy. It requires you putting your attention each and every week to those high-level tasks that only you as CEO can do. Now, friends, I know how easy it can be to get stuck in the minutia of our business, the inbox, the admin work, the busy work, the day-to-day operations in our business. And if we let it, it can take over everything. We can get to a point where we come to the end of the week and we have not made any progress on those higher level tasks that we set out to be a priority. So today I want to have a conversation about how we're going to set our week up for success, allowing us to stay consistent on implementing our 90-day plan. So if you haven't heard me talk about it, a great resource to help with this is the CEO Pulse Check. And those who use it every single week see massive results. Inside the CEO Pulse Check is 5 accountability strategies that you're going to use each and every week to help you become masterful at being strategic with your time, your energy, and your resources. It helps you put those big rocks first and stay proactive in your week. So if you don't have a copy of it yet, I suggest you head over to ceoamplify.ca/pulsecheck and get yours today. It's really a simple tool, but makes a massive impact in your business. All right. So today I want to focus on how we set our week up for success. And really there's 4 key things, or 4 tools I would call them, that we can use each and every week to help us run our business as a true leader. Now I know there's been talk out there before about to be successful and to be a true leader, you need to join the 5 a.m. club. And while I'm not going to suggest you do or don't get up at 5 a.m., these tools do not depend on the clock and depend more on you and how you want to set up your day. So if you're happy getting up at 5 a.m., all the power to you. All right, the first tool I refer to is Scheduling Ninja. And this is really an ideal calendar that's personal, for you and fits with your current business and life. It allows you to plan out specific blocks of time for certain tasks. It gives you a chance to review and update as your life and your circumstances change, as we all know they will. It helps you prioritize your week for you and not be reactive to everyone else's demands. It helps you put boundaries between your work and your business. And for those of us with online businesses, we know that this boundary can get somewhat blurry at times. It helps you batch like tasks with like tasks. We know already that multitasking does not make us more productive. And it keeps you proactive before an emergency happens. It helps you avoid the crisis mode and stay intentional with your time. So, how do we set this up? Well, before we dive into how to set up your ideal calendar, I just wanted to throw out this analogy that I heard recently, and it's really stuck with me in terms of work-life balance. Now, you may have your own ideas about what work-life balance means, and I know some people say, oh, work-life balance only means you work this many hours a week, or you do this, or you do that. But I found that this analogy really made sense and resonated with me, and I hope it does with you as well. So this was from a speech by the former CEO of Coca-Cola. His name is Brian Dyson. And he said, imagine life is a juggling act of 5 balls: work, spirit, health, family, and friends. The work ball is made of rubber. So if you drop it, it bounces back. But the other 4 balls, spirit, health, family, and friends, those are made of glass. And of course, if you drop them, they'll be damaged, possibly to the point of shattering. So friends, we need to be able to take care of these other 4 balls. Most of us put most of our attention on our work ball, the rubber ball that's going to bounce back. But those other 4 balls, we don't want to damage those. So one way to do this in a consistent and strategic manner is to control your calendar on a weekly basis. If you don't run your week will run you. I know you've all had those weeks where we end up focusing on everyone else's requests and not what our priorities are. And I want you to be proactive and set your week up for success by designing an ideal calendar or a model calendar for you. Have your weekly activities mapped out onto this calendar to ensure that the top priorities are getting done. This also helps prevent those feast and famine months, those times when you have a lot of income coming in and things are great, and then the flip side, when you're running out of leads and you're having trouble getting clients. I believe we need 3 systems in our business. We need a strategy and a system for marketing, sales, and client delivery. And when we block off time in our week, each and every week for those 3 systems, we ensure that we're not dropping the ball on those important tasks. All right. So how do we make a scheduling ninja? Create a brand new calendar. Google, on paper, doesn't matter. First up, we put in our family and our personal time. No longer do I want you to try to find time to squeeze these things into your calendar. It's time to make time for them. And that means you put them on the calendar, you block them off front and center. So if that's a morning routine for you, if that's your weekly exercise, your daily exercise, if that's picking your kids up from school, if that's your date night, if that's your appointment that you need to have done, whatever it is for you, block off that time so that it's up front and center. Next, you set your office hours. When are you as CEO going to be working? When can your team and your clients find you? Clear office hours helps set boundaries to keep your work life slightly separate from your home life. Think about you as a person and when you do your best work. If you're a morning person, then you might be part of that 5 a.m. club. But if you're not, Don't push yourself to go somewhere where you don't do your best work. If your workday starts at 11 a.m. and that's the best time for you, that's when it starts. And then within those working hours, I want you to use time blocking. This helps you avoid context switching and to actually get into a flow state where you can do the best work at the highest level. And the research has shown that you can actually save up to 2 hours a day by using this tactic. So when you set your time blocking, let's say you have an hour blocked off for your marketing system. That means your email you're not paying attention to. You're not looking at DMs. You're not looking at social. You're not on Slack. All of those things are blocked off and put away. And you are focusing on the marketing and the work that you need to do for marketing this week. That's how blocking off time can be productive and efficient for you. Next thing you want to block off is time for your CEO Power Hour, and we're going to go through what that is a little bit later in our conversation today. And then I want you to make sure you have time for the 3 systems we talked about: marketing, sales, and client delivery. Want to make sure we're not dropping the ball on those each and every week. Now, a couple things here. When we're looking at our calendar, we don't need every minute scheduled out. Leave white space and give yourself a buffer. You probably know already, after having been on Zoom for the last couple of years, how many Zoom meetings you can have in a row before you need a break. Don't plan your day so that you're completely exhausted. Have a couple of Zoom meetings, and when you need that break, plan it out. Give yourself flexibility and grace. And for those of you who are working one-on-one with clients, you can do the same thing. You can block off time when it's time for client work, a couple of times in your week, and your clients will fit into that time. How you do this is by setting clear expectations at the beginning. Okay, I'm going to work with Sally Sue. Sally, we're going to meet weekly. We can meet Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. or we can meet Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. Those are the options that Sally Sue has. And when you're clear about that right from the get-go, then your clients also respect your time and know when they can reach out to you. I want you to protect your time and energy as the CEO of your business. And one way you do this is by having this ideal calendar and then communicating this ideal calendar to your team, to your clients, and to the people at home, so that everyone knows when you're available, everyone knows when they can reach you, and they know when they won't find you, and they'll have to wait until you're open again. All right, the second tool for having a productive week is your CEO Power Hour. A weekly date with yourself helps you be proactive, gives you a feedback loop, and helps you look for challenges when they're small before they grow too big. It helps you adapt and adjust your plan. And when you do this at the beginning of every week, you can now manage your time better because you're starting your week knowing if something needs to shift, if something needs to change or tweak. So how to run through a CEO Power Hour is built right into the CEO Pulse Check. So if you don't have that, ensure you get it. And inside are a CEO Power Hour for all 13 weeks of the next 90 days. So what are the kinds of things that we're going to do during this CEO Power Hour? Well, we're going to review our metrics. Keeping it simple, we're going to look at our lagging and our leading metric. Lagging metric for most of you is going to be your revenue. And your leading metric is going to be how people are finding you. And I want you to look at those from a month to date and a year to date perspective. Is there a gap between what's supposed to come in and the goal you set for yourself? This helps keep you proactive and allows you to reach out to bring in more revenue if you need to be able to fill up a gap. And then your leading metric, remember your leading is going to predict your lagging, right? So your leading metric is, getting new people into your world. And it helps you indicate whether you're on track for reaching your revenue goal. So for example, let's say your leading metric, the one you're tracking, is how many people are getting onto your email list. When you're tracking that and you know what your conversion is from your email list to a sales page to a checkout page, now you can easily see, am I getting enough people onto my list to be able to reach my revenue goals? Another example, if you look at referrals, how many referrals did you get this month and how many did you convert? What does your business need to reach its goals? Okay, so that's a quick overview of reviewing a couple of our metrics. And then we want to spend time planning for the week ahead. We want to start with what our top 3 priorities are for the week. What are the top 3 most important things that I, as CEO, need to do? Not talking about the things that are nice to get done, not talking about the shiny, bright objects. These 3 top priorities come from your 90-day plan. And remember, your 90-day plan comes from your 12-month goals. So we're just working backwards here, friends, right? We want to break that 12-month goal or 1-year goal down into small bite-sized pieces. And those become our top 3 priorities for our week. When we can focus and be proactive and complete those week after week after week, that's when we make huge progress and huge momentum towards our big goals. So make sure you've got a block of time in your calendar for getting those top 3 priorities done. And you can use your calendar really for self-accountability, because I want those blocks of time that you put in your calendar for your top 3 priorities to be just as important and to be treated just as seriously as you would for a sales call or client work. I want you to do the most important things first and let those other smaller things fill in around the time that you have. Next, we're going to check in on our marketing system. Are we captivating, connecting, and cultivating with new people? And we're going to check in on our sales system. How are we converting? And of course, our delivery system, our celebrate. How are we surprising and delighting our current clients? So eventually, I want you to get to a point where the answers for these questions are going to be the same week after week. This is how we get a well-oiled machine. This is how we get a business that runs itself without us having to continuously be doing new things all the time. And yes, for some of you visionaries, this may look very boring. But I want you to get to a point where you can dive into one strategy, have it working and working consistently for you before you start adding on another layer. Get one strategy working smooth. It's rinse and repeat. Your team knows what to do, you know what to do, and it's happening like clockwork. Once that's happening, then you can think about adding on another strategy. This also helps you ensure that every week you're not dropping those balls. And then really managing your calendar. So during your CEO Power Hour, you're going to look at your calendar. And I would venture out to say it is okay to be ruthless here, CEOs. Sometimes you may have to move things around. You may have to cancel things. You may have to push things to another time. Be honest with yourself when you're looking at your calendar in what you can and can't do. And then lastly, where do you need support and self-care? This could be within your business or at home. Again, all of this is within the CEO Pulse Check. It's laid out for you in there. All you have to do is open and go. And it walks you through it each and every week. And I know for some of you, if this is brand new, these practices might sound like they're just complicating things and giving you more things to do. But it's really not about that at all. It's really helping you focus and prioritize so you can propel your business forward. It's about making what you're currently doing more doable. All right, the third tool is your CEO score. And this is another accountability tool that gives you a score based on the types of tasks that you're doing. And obviously those higher level CEO tasks, what I call the growth tasks, are where we want you to be spending most of the time. And so you're going to create a goal CEO score, and then you're going to track that week after week. And I want you to envision showing up in your business like you want in the future. So your business is here at, step 3 on the ladder, and you want to get up to step 6. So I want you to show up in your business as if you were at step 6 already. I want you to be working and making decisions as if you're already at that higher level CEO. And the scorecard helps keep you in alignment with where you want to go. Now, you'll see there's some dollar amounts attached to your score. It's not actual money. It's really about giving a value to your time and energy as CEO. It's not what you would pay yourself or what you would pay someone else to do those tasks. It's really just an exercise in how are you managing your time. So you track your time and see if you hit your goal. Now, we're not tracking every minute of every day. We're looking at the different types of tasks that you're doing within the day. And I like to put these into 2 buckets: maintenance tasks and growth tasks. So maintenance tasks are things like our admin, our day-to-day tasks, things that need to get done in the business, but they don't necessarily grow your business. So your inbox, your documents, your billing, your scheduling, your social posts, those types of things are important to do, but I question whether you as CEO have to do them. And the truth is, if we spend all of our time focusing on maintenance level tasks, our business is going to get stuck right where it is. In order to grow, we as CEO have to be putting time into those growth level tasks, that second bucket. And what goes in here are things like your CEO Power Hour, strategic planning, writing sales copy, having sales conversations, proposals, getting in front of more people, webinars, challenges, public speaking, networking, all those good things that you as CEO should be spending your time on. And so the higher your CEO score, the more of those growth level tasks you want to be able to have time for in your week. And really, if you think about it, it's up to you as CEO to lead your team and focus on generating demand and building an audience. That's not what your team is there for. And so having a CEO score allows you to review at the end of the week and look over, how did my week go? Did I make time, and was I successful in completing some growth level tasks? And then once you do that week after week, you can now look at a trend over a month and over a quarter. And it's not going to be the same every week, right? Some weeks you're going to have more opportunities for growth level tasks than others, but we're looking for the overall trend. Okay, the last tool which I want to talk about today in terms of prioritizing your week is a weekly review and reflection. Again, this does not have to take a lot of time, small thing, but makes big impact. And this is also built right into the CEO Pulse Check. And it's a way for you to actually take a minute, pay attention to what's working and what's not. It gives you a chance to look at the big picture and say, what are my wins for the week? We know it's so easy to just ignore and not even acknowledge our wins. But it's really important that we take some time to celebrate those, whether they're big or small. It really helps you be a more confident leader when you start stacking your wins over time. Did you get your top 3 priorities done? Did you hit your CEO score? If so, great. If not, what got in the way? What wasn't working? Take a minute to stop, pause, and correct it. And then at the end of the month, you're going to review again and say, are there things that keep coming up week after week? Right? I don't want you settling for things that aren't working, things that are convenient, or things that are frustrating. I want you to make a decision to do better and ask for the support you need. If there's a problem in the business, the problem with your team, if you're the bottleneck, whatever it is, I want you to nip that problem in the butt before it gets out of hand. And having this monthly review gives you that opportunity to do that before the snowball gets too big. And then lastly, ask yourself, who did I connect with and who did I support? Because collaborations are such an important part, especially in our online business world. And what am I excited and looking forward to next week? And whom am I connecting with next week? So asking yourself those few questions each and every week at the end of the week will help you set up your next week for success. Possibly you didn't get your 3 top priorities done this week because something happened that you weren't expecting and that drove your attention. Possibly you put 3 top priorities that are way too big and you weren't being realistic with the amount of time you had to devote to those. So taking the time to actually reflect and review really helps us see those things right off the bat. All right, I want to do a quick recap of those 4 tools that you can implement to prioritize your week, allowing you to stay proactive and have a successful week. Number 1, your scheduling ninja, helping you manage your time and your energy. Number 2, your CEO Power Hour, proactively planning out your week. Number 3, your CEO Score, paying attention to the types of tasks you're currently doing and making sure you're doing the right things, not all the things. And number 4, a weekly review, staying on top of the pulse of your business and looking ahead to navigate challenges. Again, a great resource to help you with this is the CEO Pulse Check. If you haven't got yours, hop on over to ceoamplify.ca/pulsecheck and grab yours today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would love to hear what out of this episode you're going to implement into your week. 4 tools each week to help you stay proactive, keeps you in your zone of genius, and helps you focus on the tasks that really move the needle forward in your business. All right, I hope you have a great week, CEOs, and next week we're going to be focusing on how to dominate your day. So we've looked at quarterly planning, we've looked at monthly planning, we looked at prioritizing your week, and next we're going to look at dominating each and every day. All right, take care. See you next week. Thank you for joining me on this episode of CEO Amplify. I appreciate you being part of our thriving community of ambitious business owners. If you enjoyed today's episode, I kindly ask you to share this podcast with a friend and take a hot minute to rate and leave a review. It would mean the world to me. Your feedback helps me reach more people and continue providing valuable content. Thanks so much for your support. Keep shining, and we'll catch you on the next episode.